Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up? Happy Friday to everyone. Weekend's here. Hope you all had a nice Thursday. I sure shit did, man. And it was needed. I had a losing Tuesday, losing Wednesday. Then I started Thursday out with an afternoon loss. And I was like, this shit just won't end. But then last night was very, very kind to me. And it was needed. So very, very fired up about how last night went. Here's Vino here. There he is. All right. So we got WNBA up first. 2 games to go through. As you guys know, you have the floor. Don't have much to add here. First up, Sparks are on the road in Minnesota. Lynx are laying 13 points. Are the Sparks that bad, Skee?
They have been playing really bad. They are. I mean, the Lynx are also pretty good. We got to give them credit. But I don't know. I didn't look too much at this one from a side perspective. The only way I think is I feel like the Sparks will start to play a little bit better since they're healthier and the offense has looked a little bit better lately. And Minnesota, they've been playing some really tough teams. I just to win by this much, I think you really got to care about that game. And I'm just not sure that how much they're going to care effort-wise on defense. So when I think like that, I see the total started going back up. It came down to 159. Now it's back up to 160 and a half at some shops. I think that's going the right way. Like I said, Sparks offense has been looking a lot better last 3 games. Before that, they couldn't even touch 75. And the Lynx, as well as they play defense, they're a really good 3-point shooting team. And but they coming off of a 100-point game themselves. So if I think the effort is lacking anywhere for them, it's on the defensive end. I took over 159 and a half. There's still a couple available.
Just got into the comments. S-Dot's on the Lynx, which means I'll be taking the Sparks here. I'm 1-0 fading S-Dot in the WNBA. 1-0. So it's a hot hand. I got up the hot hand when it comes to fading S-Dot in the WNBA. Disclaimer, for those of you who don't watch the show, I don't know shit about WNBA. Do not tail this. I'm joking around. So Skee likes the over. All right. Mr. Vino. What's up, man?
Sir. How are you, Kyle? Good to see everybody.
Things are great, man. What are your thoughts on Skee's over here?
Well, I'm with him.
Oh.
I played the same way. Maybe I can add a little bit to it. I think that where Lynx games are concerned this season, and totals especially, they generally get pushed down off the opener. I think it's a lot of respect for the Minnesota defense, which is top 2 defensive rating inside the WNBA. But there's never really enough respect paid to this offense, which is the best 3-point shooting team in the league. And it's not close, guys. They shoot 42% from 3, and the next closest team is 35. They shoot it way better than every other team. They shoot from the field better than any other team. And they are slow pace, and that's probably another reason why the number gets pushed toward the under. But they're so efficient. And, with Skee earlier today, I equated them somewhat to the Denver Nuggets of the NBA. We often talk about how methodical they are, but they're so efficient on the offensive end, which leads them to play a lot of overs. And I just feel like the Lynx are in that category as well. They've exceeded this particular total tonight, 159 and a half, I think 4 of the last 6. So generally they're underrated from an over perspective. I think anybody who's ever heard me talk before, over comes out of my mouth a lot more than under does. So I'm here on over 159 and a half.
Yeah, kind of how you described them kind of reminds me of the Celtics in the second half of the season also, like 29th in pace, but they're first in offensive efficiency by a mile. So, I mean, who cares how slow they're playing if they're hitting every single one of their shots? So let's swing it over to Chris, who is outdoors again. Chris is turning into an outdoorsman.
It's just, it's nice outside in Virginia. I'm trying to get a little bit of, natural vitamin C or D, whatever one you
I think
get
it's D. I think it's D.
Yeah, I think it's D too. So yeah, I'm in agreement with what Rob said and what Skee just said. It's only over in this game for me. I think Skee said the same thing I said. I'm not trying to, when you're thinking about a spread this big, I'm not trying to, jump on the Lynx or fade the Sparks in this spot. But I do think that there can be points. When I look at the individual team totals, you got the Sparks sitting at like 73 and a half, I think it is, 72 and a half. And then you got, the Lynx also sitting at like 86 and a half. And I think both of those numbers, both teams are able to go up and over the total. Rob mentioned how good the Lynx offense has been, and they've been humming, man. That's one of the reasons why I like it. Their 3-point shooting has been really, really good. So give me over in this one as well.
So everyone likes the Lynx. I don't know where this came from, but I have a Minnesota team total over graphic. Is that for somebody? Where does that come from?
Unless you watched my show this morning, I did say that I definitely think
I told Andy to watch it.
So maybe he did. Maybe he did because that would be the alternative. No matter what the Sparks do, I do think the Lynx going to be able to score the basketball.
Okay,
and
so that's an extra pick. Got it.
So as we talked about the other day, like kind of like, playing against these really high-powered defensive teams, we were talking about the Connecticut Sun in the Chicago Sky the other day. And if you're the Sparks, you kind of probably want to play with pace in this game. You don't want to play against, the second-rated defense in the half court, as frequently as you could. So I do think Sparks probably try to play a little faster, but on the road defensively, they've been pretty bad. I think they're giving up 86 points per game. And we're talking about the most efficient offense in the WNBA right now. So Minnesota Lynx team total goes and is correlated with the over in the game.
So everyone likes the Lynx here. Everyone likes a lot of Lynx points. Sparks money line traded at $7.50 on ESPN Bet. I'm just saying.
Hey, Kyle, this is not MLB.
Yeah, all right. I'll hold back. I'll keep my finger off the trigger. Just know I'm thinking about it. All right, let's go to the next game. Shit. All right, next game up. Chicago Sky against the Mystics. Before I even start, let me guess. You're all on Washington Mystics first half. That's how well I know you guys. Am I right? I'm not right. Never mind.
Not for me. I think Skee's pointed it out. I think they're 8-1-3. I think in the first half, on the first half spread. But if I want to take the Mystics in the first half, I typically want a couple. Like I want a possession or two. I don't really want them to win the game to have the lead. And I think they're like +1 right now in the first half. So primarily, pretty much you need them to have the lead or at least to be tied. This was a game that I stayed away from. I don't see a lot. These teams are both pretty trendy. I don't like that if I want the Mystics, I don't like that they just won as a dog against the Atlanta Dream. I don't like that Shakira Austin and Brittany Sykes aren't playing because they have not won a game with either one of those players out. And the only win that they got was the one with Brittany Sykes in Atlanta. And if I like Chicago, like I'm kind of scared as well. This is a team that's lost 4 of their last 5. They have some poor road losses as well. Granted, they got a good win against the Liberty, but they went on the road and lost to the Fever. So I don't, and they've already beaten the Washington Mystics. So this was one I just kind of stayed off of. This is both teams kind of Jekyll and Hyde. I'm not sure what I'm gonna get, so I stayed away from this one.
All right, Rob Vino, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, again, I like the total, Kyle. Talked about it earlier with Skee, and since then went into the bag and looked for even more and came up with the fact that these two teams just played 8 days ago. 79-71 final. Only got to 150. Total tonight's 158.5. Inside that 150 total, Chicago went 1 for 14 from 3. Combined, these teams were 5 for 31. The 16.7% that they shot from 3 in that game was the lowest combined total in any game so far this season. So you're asking these teams, please make us a 3. Since that point in time, Washington's reeled off 3 games where they scored 80 plus. I know you could nitpick all 3 of those and come with a reason or a reasonable argument at me. New York obviously was in a back-to-back situation. Maybe that's why they gave up 80 plus. Indiana can't play defense. Maybe that's why they gave up 80 plus. They did just put another 80 spot up against the Dream. That was a game where Brittany Sykes played. But the other 2 guys, no Brittany Sykes in those games when they scored 80 plus. Washington's taken to tempo a little bit over the course of the last 3 games. Obviously, when you're 0-10 or whatever they were at the time, you need to make an adjustment. Their adjustment was let's go a little bit faster. Since that point in time, 3 games, they've made 46 threes and allowed 42. 88 threes in 3 games with this team. So not only are they making them on one side, but they're giving them up on the other. And that's probably a good elixir for the Sky, who is the league's worst 3-point shooting team. So if ever you're going to make a couple, didn't last time, but let's hope for better than 1 for 14 this time out of them. Mystics totals, this one's been bumped up a little bit. So somebody with a little bit of cash is paying somewhat of attention to what Washington's done over the course of the last 3. I don't think it matters without Sykes here, simply because this is the way they've trended towards quicker pace, toward over. In a category that I use, guys, potential points, which means if every single shot that went up in a game went through the rim and scored points, the average potential points in Washington Mystics games the last 3 times around has been 355. It's a lot for a WNBA game, and it's not a lot to ask when you're only looking to get over 158.5. So I figure they'll shoot it better. They can't shoot it any worse than they did the first time around. Skee also, real quick, nice interior edge here with Cardoso and Reese. They're the bigger team inside, and maybe some second chance points, which they couldn't get the other night against Connecticut, who's really good inside. Yet they still got the 75 points against a really good defense. So give me up and over 158.5.
Over 158.5. Chris, do you agree with the over?
I do. All of the reasons that Rob just kind of pointed out. And I think the one, I didn't really talk about the total. You should be going to Skee because I just said I like the I just said I was staying away from the game. But yeah,
that's right. You already said it. My bad.
Yeah, the 3-point shooting that Rob, just going back to what Rob said, 3-point shooting from Washington has been good. It kind of feels like they were getting into a rhythm, finally without Shakira Austin and without Brittany Sykes. So Van Loo off the bench, Aaliyah Edwards has been playing really, really good. So yeah, I would say over as well if I had to play this one.
All right, cool. Let's swing it over to Skee. And then we'll go back to Chris again and get his thoughts a third time. All right, Skee, do you agree with the over? Is what I should have said.
Yeah, make me be like Shaq over here, man. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1, 1. If you know about that inside the NBA. But I think I agree with what was said here. The only thing I'll say is there's not a lot of people on that Sky team you can count on to make a 3. I mean, you're pretty much banking on Marina Mabry to have a big night tonight. That's the one person I think I would trust. But they should have some second chance points. I agree with that. And I don't know. Rob made it sound pretty good. I didn't have a strong feel about this game. The one thing I'll say is, side-wise, I really wanted to try to back the Sky. I don't like that they're at a rest disadvantage, but I feel like it's a little bit of an exhale for Washington after finally getting off the schneid and winning the game. I don't know that they bring that same energy and effort that they've been bringing trying to get that win the past few. So I guess lean towards the Sky and the over.
Lean towards the Sky, lean towards the over. Got it. All right. Our poll's all over Chicago there. So as far as the viewers, they're definitely leaning towards the Sky in this one. Let's move on to the NBA Finals. Game 4. All right, Vino. True or false? Before you get into your bet, this is the last game of the NBA season.
Can't we go to Chris on this?
Yeah, let's pass it to Chris again. Whenever we're unsure, just pass it to Chris. He'll take up the time slot.
Oh, God, that's such a 50-50 question, Kyle. I just, for sake of the show, I'll say no. It's not the final game of the NBA season.
Okay. All right. I won't put up a Mavericks graphic. I just wanted to hear an answer to the question. That's all. So, do you have a bet in the game you like?
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at this, and I think they both have deterrence. But I came to the conclusion with my good friend Skee Prophet this morning when we talked it out that early is probably better than full in this game. Dallas and Boston went at it the other night. Dallas comes back home for game 3, a must situation, and the first quarter scores 61 points. Dallas, which had been inefficient offensively in the first 2 games, comes up and has probably their best quarter because they hadn't scored over 24 points in but one quarter of the first 2 games, which is, 24 or less in 7 of 8 quarters isn't going to win you much. But they did come out of the shoot real good the other night, got to 61, and it all went to heck in the handbasket from there. I think the same could be said for tonight. I mean, the other night was Kyrie's night. He was the guy getting trashed into game 3. Into game 4, it's Luka getting trashed, so maybe he'll come out and score the way Kyrie did in the third game. And they really, for what it's worth, guys, Boston, in my estimation, has not played their best offensive basketball, not even close yet. I know they made 17 threes the other night, but they're still not the Boston we're used to seeing from an offensive standpoint. Some of that could be credited to the Dallas defense, but I like to think that Boston can score on any defense when they're right. So for me, the number here, 54 in the first quarter, probably is a little bit low where total is concerned. I would probably look over in that instance. And it also makes me think when Luka Doncic is getting grilled for his lack of defense and then sits right down with a reporter and says, I don't really think defense is our problem. We're just not scoring enough, which leads you right again to potentially Dallas over, potentially full game over, potentially any number of overs. I think maybe even Boston over because you trust them if Luka's not worried about defense and he's worried more about offense. And we might finally see our first over game of the series. This coming from a guy who, I've bashed my head against the brick wall 3 times now in this series, whether it be Dallas team total over or full game over. It's been wrong every time so far. The one thing I'd worry about, I'll use this caveat before I close out here. If Dallas is getting beat big in the fourth quarter and just throws in the towel, I worry a little bit about full game over, even though it's as low as 210.
Pritchard will go crazy. Pritchard's due.
If Boston will make up for it, right? In which case you want to have the Boston team total. You trust it a little bit more. I think first quarter total combined is a good way to go. And any number or any combination of the other things that I mentioned here, I think are worth a shot as well.
Yeah, if you have a bet where you need Boston points late and it's a blowout and they pull all the starters, Peyton Pritchard, not only is he going 100 miles an hour like it's Game 7 of the finals, he's taking every shot. This man gets it done if you need some points late. If you're on the other side, it kind of sucks, but I trust Pritchard. And he's like 1 of 12 in these finals, too. So Pritchard's due. I don't know. I guess I turned that into a Peyton Pritchard talk. All right, Skee. It sounds like you were on that same bet, that first quarter, right?
Yeah, I do like the first quarter over as well. I mean, we've seen 3 unders so far in the games, right? And 2 of the 3 first quarters have cleared this number. So a lot of what Vino said, I obviously agree with. I mean, I look at it like this too. We know Luka can score the ball, and we know Luka will be out there majority of the first quarter. What we also know is Luka's not getting any stops. I mean, they're going to continue to go out here every single play. And if he's going to be out there, for majority of the first quarter, I just see Celtics continuing to get good shots, attacking him, like whether it's scoring on him or passing it to the open man when they have to help. So I like what I've seen from them. I agree with Rob that the Celtics offense can still improve. And Dallas, they keep talking about playing with pace. They're talking about key points or, getting out in transition and getting more shots at the rim. I feel like they talk about these things and we see them do it for 12 minutes and then they just go back to whatever else they were doing. So that's why I like the first quarter over. The rest of the game, it's tequila time.
All right, so I'll go and then we'll see what Chris is on. So I'm on the Mavericks. If I'm being honest, might be a little bit of Kyle's just doing some gambling here and wants to bet the game. As far as trying to find some betting value, I don't know. I feel like you can make really strong arguments for both sides. There's just a couple things that jump out at me. So in this series, Dallas is shooting 25.7 or 25.9, one of those two. 25.7, let's say. It's in there. 25.7% as far as wide open three-point attempts. 25.7% from three-point attempts with 4 feet or more of space. When you're looking at numbers like that, I mean, that's like 12, 15 points of variance where it's like if those shots hit, if they were hitting their shots, they could be up 2-1, or if they keep missing them, they're going to get beat again. That's crazy to shoot 25% from wide open threes. So it kind of throws a cog in the wheel as far as trying to predict what's going to happen, because it's like, 3 games in a row, they're not hitting their open shots. They're bound to hit them, right? Or maybe they're just not hitting their open shots right now. Makes it really tough to predict. So let's say game 4, I'm hoping some of those shots start falling. And number 2, I felt in game 3, Dallas was in control more than 50% of the game. There was just a really bad second half of the third quarter. And when Luka Doncic fouled out, Dallas was on a 20-2 run. It was 91-70. When Luka Doncic fouled out, it was 93-90. And there was like a weird sequence of events in there too. He had 2 fouls in the course of a minute, and there was like 2 minutes of game clock. No points were scored. So just the entire momentum of the game shifted when it hit 93-90. And I was looking at the plus minus from game 3. Luka Doncic +9. No other Dallas starter was above 0. So when Luka Doncic was on the court, the Mavs were outplaying Boston. So there is a path there. Now, historically, if you're on the Celtics, history's on your side. Chris, you know what? Let's bring up Chris because he probably has these. Nope, he shakes his head. No, I do not. So teams down 3-0 at home in Game 4 usually lose. I think it was, but I don't have the numbers in front of me. So historically, this would be a spot to bet Boston. But like I said, definitely a little bit of mean, just doing some gambling, betting on what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see Dallas take one. I hate Boston. I hate the city. I hate the people. New York Knicks till I drop, man. So let's go. Dallas money line. Like I said, I maybe just doing a little gambling here.
I got you real quick, though. The numbers would be 26 and 51.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I knew it was significant. So that's 26 and 51 home teams that are down 0-3. They usually get swept.
What is it in the finals, Skee? I know it's just
1 and 2.
That's what I thought it was. Okay, yeah, I did.
And
look
all
at
the games, all the games featured the Cavaliers.
S. just commented Kyle and I are aligned. Oh God. All right, Chris, what do you think? Suspense,
all right, so
bro.
I am of the mindset. So game 1, I was on Boston first half. We cashed. Game 2, I thought Dallas was gonna make some adjustments. I trusted Coach Kidd. I bet Dallas team total over. I split it. Dallas team total over. Dallas on the spread plus the 7, 6.5, whatever it was. I lost both. I haven't won since game 1. So tail with caution here if you're tailing. And then game 3, we all were on the show the other day. It's not Rob, but we were all on the show the other day, and we talked about how Dallas would bounce back at home. I am of the mindset now that I'm gonna go with what I see, and I think under is the best play in the game. So I do think that after Luka sit down, the interview that Rob mentioned with the young lady, I can't remember her name in the moment, but the interview that he did with her, I don't think that he'll want the narrative to be completely that he can't guard defense. Like we go into the summer right off with that narrative, even though that's the one I'm riding off with because he's lost me so much money with his defensive effort in the last few games. That blow-by rate being the highest in NBA history in the finals has, just really crushed my soul. But so I do think Luka plays a little bit better defensively. He's been the one guy that they've really been picking on. Dallas have gone under their team total in all 3 games so far. They failed to score 100 points. And in my opinion, it's primarily because they continue to work too hard on the offensive end. It's really, really difficult for them to get consistent shots. And that goes back into Boston being undefeated on the road in the playoffs. They've not lost a road game so far. And it's primarily been because of their defense. So I think that Dallas will continue to work hard to score the ball. I don't think that they'll score a lot. And game 4 is in the finals. I think it's 14-6-1 to the under, or 16-4-1 to the under. One of those two. But as the series goes on, it's more and more difficult to score the basketball. So I'll go under to 11.5 for this one.
Under to 11.5. Gun to your head. Pick a side.
Boston. It's really difficult for me to trust PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. I saw a stat that said Tim Hardaway Jr. hadn't made a shot since like March the 18th. So who was helping out Kyrie and Luka?
Scotty, can you do something for me? Scott Foster special, baby.
So we're relying on Scott. Can we take a Scott Foster over PRAs? So Scott Foster, didn't you say, Skee? I think you were the one that was telling me that the Scott Foster the extender is over with, though. Weren't you the one that were telling me that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said that, bro. See, I can tell he said that shit. So Skee himself, either on this show or on his show, said the Scott Foster extender is done with, is over with. He said that, so he's taking it back. I'm
taking it back for this game.
I personally don't buy into that kind of stuff, but I mean, some of those numbers, it's kind of hard to argue with.
Hold on. Did you ask Skee who he thought was going to win the game? Gun to his head?
I think he took the coward's way out and didn't want to pick.
I don't think I heard that question. But I'll pick.
All right, let's bring Skee back up. We need Darren's pick.
To your defense, Skee, I don't think I heard it either.
So I actually am betting Dallas. Vino said Dallas because there was a gun to his head and he was forced to pick. Skee, are you with Chris or are you with me and Rob?
Well, I think that They gonna play with some kind of pride, man.
Skee, do the right thing.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not
Skee. You don't want to get on that plane ride, go back to Boston. You don't want to
I'm putting Dallas up. I know what he's going to say. He's saying Dallas.
Oh man. You know what? I think they'll play with some pride like Minnesota did. They're not gonna get swept. And maybe Scotty could help them out. Just put some early fouls on Drew, early fouls on JB. Somebody help us out.
Let's go.
Dallas gets the win.
The poll's on Boston, by the way. So the viewers.
I saw that pride, Skee. That real quick count. That pride that Skee's talking about. I saw it in the first quarter. They were winning by 2, and then the rest of the game was done.
Yeah, disappeared. Who knows what happens if Luka Doncic doesn't foul out? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, also, Kyle, Jason Kidd, as much credit as I've given him, and we talk about him, he killed the momentum. It's Jason Kidd's fault. They're on a 20-2 run, and you call a timeout.
Did
What
he
are you-
call a
are you brain
timeout?
dead?
He called a timeout? I don't even remember. I remember the 2 Luka fouls. He called a timeout during that
He
run?
called timeout. And Luka, you could see him when he called timeout. Luka's like, what are you doing?
Oh, coach. His finger accidentally hit the back button on the remote. All right, so MLB in 4 minutes. Real quick, Skee. I'm sure everyone watching already knows who you are and where to find your channel, but in case they don't.
Yeah, all my work you can find at Skee Profit, whether it's on Twitter, on YouTube, and I do work with Wager Talk as well. So everything for me, just type in Skee Profit, you'll see my work.
Cool. And let's bring up Vino. He doesn't come on as often, so some of you might not know him. Rob, where can they find your stuff?
They find my stuff. Well, if you want to find me on Twitter, it's at Rob Vino Sports. Pretty simple. If you want to find the bulk of the work I do, it is at wagertalk.com. The video, the written content, and the selection packages. If anybody's interested, it's all at wagertalk.com.
Cool. And Chris, they know where to find you, but in case they don't.
What was your question again, Kyle? I'm sorry.
Where could they find their stuff? But I'm pretty sure everyone here knows you. But in case they don't.
Oh, yeah. All my stuff is on YouTube at ChrisBeCappin 2 P's 2 N's, and you can follow me on Twitter as well, ChrisBeCappin 2 P's 2 N's.
Cool. Guys, thanks for joining. Let's enjoy Game 4. Hopefully not the last game of the season. Enjoy your weekends. If I don't talk to you, I'll talk to all you guys soon.
All right, good luck tonight, y'all.
Take care, Kyle. Take care, guys.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me on. Best of luck tonight, fellas.
All right, let's bring on Toast. All right, I hear Toast. There he is. So, there we go. So, Finesse the Books bailed on us, but his dog had to be emergency run to the vet. So not.
I was gonna say, I don't think that was
we can't rag on him for something like that. That sucks. That's really shitty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't get.
Yeah. So that's what
I
happened
would.
with that.
I would be doing the exact same thing. With
Yeah,
my dog.
everyone that's been through that knows that that's terrible. So hopefully that's all right. All right. Why don't we start with Yankees both Sox? I have a bet. Let's get the poll going first. I don't even think we talked about this game, did we?
Also, Rob Vino is the GOAT. Just so
yeah, he's the man. I like how he's always down to come on too, because like sometimes it's tough to line schedule with somebody. But as long as he's not busy, he's always down.
Yeah, Rob is 5 stars.
2 thumbs, way up. All right,
I love that guy.
Yanks are in Fenway. Start of the series. Oh, we did talk of this game because I told you that I thought. So I don't think I need to tell you guys that I think that the Yankees are going to get to Bayo. I'm pretty sure we all can join hands and agree on that. Bayo did pitch really well against the Yankees last year. He made 5 starts. He had like a 1.84 ERA or something. So this guy was pitching excellent against the Yankees in 5 starts last year. That being said, this Yankees lineup this year is not last year's lineup, and Brian Bayo this year is not last year's Brian Bayo. So even though he has great numbers against the Yankees, I don't care. The way Brian Bayo's pitching, the way New York Yankees are hitting, I expect runs on that side. Now, here's where I think the sharper take is. I think Boston's going to get to Heel, and if you look at Heel's numbers, you might be like, that's what? He's been untouchable. You're right. But look at who he's pitched against. And I actually want to pull it up and read it to you real quick. So,
About to start a riot.
has Heel become a fan favorite? No, I think I'll only start a riot is if I take Boston, and I'm not taking Boston. But okay, so he's been untouchable, right? Twins, Angels, worst lineup in baseball against righties. Seattle, White Sox, Rays, Houston on the road. So I mean, he's pitched a lot of easy lineups. So this is what I went with. Let's see if I have a graphic for it. I don't know. There it is. Andy went and found my pick. All right, so I'm on the first 5 over. Basically, I'm expecting both lineups to get to both starting pitchers. I thought about taking the full game over at 9. It's moved up to 9.5, so it would have been a good decision if I did. But both these bullpens are okay. And I'd rather just stick to the first 5, get in, get out. So I did place this bet. I'm holding the ticket. 3-3 after 5 innings, maybe even more. Toast.
Yeah. I don't hate that. I'm on Boston money line. I got him at 140 last night. I sent it out. I'll just read you my little write-up. I'm well aware that everybody's going to be betting the Yankees with Heel on the mound, but I really think that this is a Boston game that they can get. The Boston bats have absolutely caught fire against some pretty decent Phillies pitching. I understand that Gil has been very, very good, but there's also numbers that are telling us that regression are coming. Sauce just touched on the fact that he hasn't faced great lineups. He also has like a 12% swinging strike rate with a 30% K rate. Like that's just, those numbers just won't last. I'm not trying to make a case that he's going to fall on his face here today. I'm just saying that I don't think the starting pitching advantage is as big as everybody's making it out to be with how hot the Boston bats are.
Yeah.
And yes, Brian Bello has been average at best this year, but his last 7 starts, 5 of them have been on the road. He usually pitches much better in Fenway. And yes, his last start in Fenway wasn't great against the Tigers, but previous to that, he gave up 2 runs against the Nationals. I just feel like at sooner or later, Brian Bello is going to pitch well. I understand that it's the Yankees, but I also understand that the Yankees aren't in a great spot after playing 4 games in Kansas City. I don't know they haven't had a day off in a while, and now they're going to fly here after they've won 5 games in a row or whatever it is. I just feel like some of the air might be just a little bit out of the balloon. I understand that I'm kind of known as the Yankees hater. This isn't that. If Boston doesn't play the way they played the last couple nights, I don't even look at Boston today. But I mean, they've scored 6 runs in 3 of their last 4 games. I just feel like we're getting a huge plus price with the home team that's playing really well right now. So I did bet Boston, and I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, and if you're looking to tail Toast, I personally, if I was going to tail him, I would take Boston team total over. But if you're looking to tail him, you can also add on the fact the Yankees will be without Weaver, and Clay Holmes did throw 20
I
hits.
didn't even touch on that. My bad. Good job.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only Weaver. They're okay. It's just Weaver, and Clay Holmes threw 20 pitches.
It's only their best 2 arms in their bullpen.
Yeah, just their best 2 arms. No, but Holmes is available, bro. He'll pitch if they need him.
I hope to God he comes into the game today.
But Toast is right. I mean, Boston, I think they've scored 17 runs in the last 2 games or some shit like that. Those bats are alive. 69% to 24%. So community disagrees with Toast is on the Yanks.
It's okay. All the money's on the Yanks, and yet the line's dropped 15 cents. What can go wrong?
So next game is Marlins Nats, and Toast. When we were preparing this one, Prop Beaver just left. He's going to the city tonight, but he was. And
for the game.
To be honest, I did. No, he's going to the city with his friends. I think he's like they're going out or something. To be honest, he probably told me and I wasn't listening. But anyway, that's pretty on par for me. So
that's how I work.
He set up the graphics for me, and I was just flipping through the games, making sure they were all good. And I was like, "Who the hell is S. Anderson?" And he goes, "Stoney Anderson." And I was like, "Oh, okay," and just kept going. And then, like a few minutes later, he goes, "Wait, did you really believe me?" Because I was gonna come on the show and be like, "Stoney Anderson pitching for the Marlins. It's Sean Anderson." Prop Beaver got me, told me it was Stoney Anderson, and I dead ass believed him. So anyway, this is a pass for me. I didn't know who was pitching for the Marlins until like an hour ago. I still don't know who it is. So.
It's like this Sean Anderson guy that hasn't pitched in a very long time. Man, the fish just broke my heart yesterday. Shout out Jazz Chisholm. That was awesome. But, man, that was a heartbreaking loss. That's Fish Moneyline better at like plus 190 or whatever the hell it was. Definitely don't want to touch them. Mackenzie Gore's been really good, coming off a really good start against the Braves. He didn't pitch well against Miami last year, but this is a completely different Miami team. So I wouldn't touch Washington at this price either. But, I do think they win, but out of this world price, no way.
Yeah, so a couple passes. Communities all over Nats. 72%, 17% on Washington.
Oh, I mean, I don't think there's a chance in hell they lose. But,
yeah, and the Marlins' first game of the series. You know what? We should be thinking about Marlins on Sunday already. Road getaway. It's a Marlins spot.
I feel you.
Put that in your pocket.
Let me see how many these teams play. Oh yeah, you could play Nationals -1.5 and be all right. Neither one of these teams play 1-run games at all, especially the Nationals. So yeah, if the Nationals win, the chances of them winning by 2 are pretty damn high. Anyway.
So this next one is. So I think in the video I put a video out on this one, but I didn't actually. This bet didn't make the ticket, and I think when I did it, the first 5 under was at 4. Let me check real quick, actually, because
I'm pretty sure this went from 8 to 7. The total.
This game was the first video I did. So I was first 5 under 4.5, and it was at -125 when I did it. So that's probably long gone. That when I did this is the first video I did. I uploaded this video like 5 p.m. yesterday. So the Orioles hadn't even played Boston or whatever the hell. Philly hadn't even played Boston. So the first 5 under price is long gone that I liked originally. I said in the video I would lean towards Baltimore, and I still think that's the side, but I don't want to lay -132 to the Phillies, a team that the Phillies just. It doesn't matter if their numbers look shitty. They find a way to win. It's their defense makes a play. Or the bullpen comes in. The starter will give up 3 runs, and it's like, oh, shit, the Phillies might lose. Bullpen comes in and throws 5 shutout innings. Like, they just find a way to win games. So I'm not trying to lay -130 to that. So I'll put up Orioles money line because I do think they win the game. But if this is a pick 'em, maybe I'd throw something down. But at -130, -135, wherever it's at, too expensive for me. So Orioles are pass.
I bet the Orioles money line, and I bet the Orioles -1.5 at plus 162. I really like this spot for the Baltimore Orioles today. Honestly, I really feel like the books are telling us who they like with this line and having them at -130. I think they're more than comfortable with giving out the Phillies at plus money today. I understand how good Philly's been to start the season, but at the same time, every team goes through ups and downs. I mean, with all the injuries, maybe we start to see the Phillies go on a little bit of a downswing right now. Their starting pitching has been awesome, and Ranger Suarez has been awesome. But at the same time, this Baltimore team at home is just been on a different level right now. I understand they didn't look good yesterday, but at the same time, I honestly feel like with Bradish and how Philadelphia hasn't really been getting to righty starters in general, that this kind of, I guess you could call this, I would say this pitching matchup is more of a coin flip than anything. And I also think that the bullpens are a wash as well. So, and I will gladly take the Baltimore offense compared to the Phillies offense now with all these injuries, like I talked about. And then a little trend that I didn't really put too much into, but it's really nice to know. Since 2022, the Baltimore Orioles are 64-29 in game 1 of a series. And that's going back to 2022. This team just finds a way to win first games of the series. They win a whole bunch of series. So again, I don't put a ton of stock into that, but it's nice to have it in my back pocket. But like I said, I think the books are more than comfortable giving the Phillies out at plus money today. So I'm happily to take Baltimore at -132. And like I said, I played the run line as well.
You know what the deciding factor was for me? I feel like if Wheeler was on the mound, I would bet Baltimore here. But the Orioles aren't hitting lefties like last year. They're hitting righties this year. So Ranger Suarez, back-to-back shaky road starts because he was in London, that he was in Coors Field before that. I think he's going to deal. That's why I'm scared of Ranger Suarez. That's what keeps me off.
I don't think that I don't think either team's going to score a whole bunch of runs. I mean, I think that the total going from 8 to 7 is I think it's going to be a close game. I'll take the Baltimore lineup in a close game at home against the Phillies right now with their lineup.
Got it. Next up is Cleveland, Toronto. What a weird ass. Okay.
Dude, this one and another one a little bit later is that I'm rather right on the nose or I'm way off.
So, wait, what are you on this one?
Cleveland, money.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gave out, if you guys watch my video, so you guys know I took Cleveland money line last night. This is the second video I did. So this is another one that I bet pretty early on. I got it at plus 115, right? And I was even talking to Skee on Twitter, and I was like, yo, if you're looking for MLB, I'm on Cleveland tomorrow. I got a plus 115. Then like 45 minutes later, it's plus 135. I'm over here like, what the hell is going on? And then now it's back to where it was originally. So I don't know what really happened in there. And it moved and then moved back. I'm not even going to try to speculate what was going on with that. But reason for this bet, well, obviously, it's Kevin Gausman against Logan Allen. So, obviously, we do not have the starting pitching advantage here. But If you remove the starting pitchers from this game, we have the clear-cut advantage everywhere. Toronto's been arguably the worst lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching. So Logan Allen, who's struggling, pitching against a lineup that hasn't been hitting lefties. Cleveland's bullpen's been the best in baseball. Toronto's bullpen has looked terrible. That guy Tim Meza, Exhibit A. Yes, Kevin Gausman against Logan Allen is crazy. Huge starting pitching advantage, but everything else is Cleveland by a mile. And, by the way, Gausman's been getting hit up at home. And fading Gausman at home in Toronto, that's been a thing for a while. That dates back to last year. Now, last year when we were doing it and winning, it was really fading the Blue Jays bats because they never gave him run support. But this year, he's getting hit up at home. So at plus money, I don't see how you don't take a shot on Cleveland. I didn't load up on this one. It's not like my favorite bet of the night or anything, but how do you not play the better team at plus money? Got him.
I don't even think the starting pitching advantage is as big as people think. What do you mean, come on? Have you seen this Gausman splits? 353 Woba to lefties? I mean, there's 8 lefties in this Cleveland lineup today. I mean, if he's not on, he's going to get absolutely slaughtered. So I like Cleveland a lot here. I don't think you guys need me to give you guys a reason why I'm going to be fading this Toronto team. Not to mention they're coming home from a road trip. I understand that they had a day off, but I don't really care. I'm getting, I think, a Cleveland and a much better team and a really bad split for Gausman right now. And not to mention the Jays lineup over the last 2 weeks is bottom third in essentially every category. I also think Cleveland has the advantage in the bullpen. Like, I agree with Saul. So, yeah.
Not just the advantage, the huge advantage.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to, I'm all over Cleveland today. If they figure a way out not to score, it is what it is. But yeah, they should win this game.
Silverback Bets is in the comments. He says he likes Logan Allen over Case. So Silverback likes Logan Allen too. We're all on Logan Allen. So all right. Wow. So our community heavy on Cleveland. 76%, 17%.
Oh yeah.
Next up.
I'm telling you, dude. They're a public dog.
Padres Mets. And the reason I didn't do the video on this game was I was told that this game was probably getting rained out, but it's not raining here. So I don't know if it's
I'm not there, but everything I see says there's a shit ton of rain coming. So if you're I don't know.
So as of right now, it looks fine outside. Citi Field's 40 miles from here, 35 miles from here. So all right. Padres Mets at a pick'em. And this sucks because it's a great game, and I'm a Mets fan. Toast the Padres game. It'd be a fun one to talk about, but I haven't even looked at it. Also, I don't know about you. I hate betting on Waldron games. The knuckleball, it's just like I don't even know how to. What do you look at?
I love him. Him.
Yeah, you're a fan of the guy, but I mean, as far as predicting his outcomes.
Well, I mean, he's been absolutely dominant for his last 6 starts. Almost untouchable.
So you're on Padres?
Yeah, I am. Padres money line, Padres -1.5 at +143 because neither one of these teams play 1-run games. It's not an indicative of me thinking that one team is better than the other. It's just these teams don't play 1-run games. But like I said, guys, Matt Waldron is on another level right now. His last 6 starts, I'm going to go through them really quickly. 5 1/3 to the Dodgers, 2 runs. 5 2/3 against Atlanta, 1 runs, 10 strikeouts, and that was on the road. On the road at Cincinnati, 5 innings, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. At home against Miami, 7 innings, no runs. On the road at the Los Angeles Angels, 6 1/3, 1 run. On the road, at home against Arizona, 6 innings, 1 run. He's been absolutely lights out. He's found what he wants to do as far as his sequencing and how he wants to throw the knuckle and when to throw the knuckle and when to throw the fastball. So he's pitching at a very, very high level right now, and I trust him to pitch well against this Mets team that just watched Rodri Munoz go no-hitter against these guys, and they finally ended up getting – I mean, you know how bad that was yesterday, and they've been bad for a while now. That's nothing crazy. And then I understand the Padres versus a lefty might give some people a little bit of pause. I get that, but they've seen a whole bunch of lefties. They've seen 2 lefties in a row. This is going to be their 3rd lefty starter they've seen in a row. I think they've seen 5 since June 2nd, I think it is. This will be their 6th. Also, they have a little bit of history with Mr. Overrated Sean Manaea himself. They saw him twice last year. He went 8 total innings, gave up 6 runs. 6 runs, 6 of them earned, 7 unearned. But either way, I just think that the Padres have the advantage everywhere in this game. So if they shit the bed, it is what it is. But the Padres should win this game. They have the advantage everywhere.
Why is everyone betting the Padres? What is wrong with you guys? And 69%
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm like that, because I didn't expect that. I really didn't. So,
I
mean, I guess I should have because the Mets have been so bad, but it's the fraud race.
I swear, I think I'd be down to tail you. I thought everyone would be.
Yeah, I would just pass, dude.
Yeah, so what I was saying is Waldron is such a unique righty starter that when I'm looking at the game, I don't really know how to try to predict if the lineup's going to get to him. So it's just challenging for me. I didn't mean it as like a diss to him. I just personally don't know how to do it. So, all right, let's move on to the next game. 68%, 20% Padres, man. All of you guys watching are betting the Padres. What the hell's wrong with you?
I did not expect that.
It's making me want to bet the Mets, honestly. You guys doubting the Mets?
Oh, I doubt the Mets. God damn it.
All right. Rays are in Atlanta. I bet this one.
Me too.
I hate the spot for them, to be honest. But at the price, how do you not take a shot?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm guessing, judging by the way you're talking, you're on the same thing as me. Rays money line. All right, so let me get the graphics up. My reasoning for it, pretty simple here. What was I saying about the Rays yesterday? Look, this lineup is terrible, but splits wise, they're better on the road. They haven't been hitting in the Trop, so the fact that this game's on the road, okay. Also, they're better against lefties. In fact, before yesterday, they had been getting to every lefty starter they've seen. For like 3 or 4 straight lefty starters, they got to some good ones too. So now, obviously, that wasn't the case yesterday. They did not get to Justin Steele. Doesn't matter. We still cashed our bet. But Chris Sale pitched against a lot of bad teams. And let's go ahead and look at what those teams' names are. When I say this is not like a blasting Chris Sale or anything like that. But ready for Chris Sale's recent starts? Washington, Oakland, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Chicago Cubs, Boston, Seattle. Those are his last 7 starts. The Red Sox are hitting now, but a month ago, they weren't.
They were doing nothing.
Yeah, so Sale's the man. He's pitched against nobody. And by the way, his last home start, Oakland hit him into another planet. Like, crushed him. So how do you not take a shot with the Rays at this huge plus price? By the way, Braves aren't hitting. So there's that. Braves are a bottom 5 lineup for the last month. So there's also that. So yeah, at the price, how do you not take a shot? I'm in. Let's do it, Rays. 2 in a row for me.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that gift of Cole Irvin, Braves fans, because you're not going to get that one for a while.
I don't know.
Like
Littell doesn't look good, though.
Littell, I mean, he's like average. I mean, if he's giving you 6 or 7 innings of 3-run baseball, I'll take it. I mean, and also look at that. He's placed Boston twice, Baltimore twice, the Yankees, Oakland. I mean, I'm sure it's nice for the fact that he's not seeing Baltimore or Boston again. I mean, that's got to help. Not to mention, like you said, and yes, has Chris Sale been dominant at home as well? Yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't think it's very feasible to think that. I mean, like Saw said, he got hit up by Oakland, the Padres, the White Sox, and Boston. I mean, he went like 22 innings and didn't give up a run. I mean, that's just not going to last. Again, I'm not trying to make a case that the Rays are going to be the team that hits him up like Oakland did, but I will say that he did face this Rays team last year. He went 4 innings and gave up 6 runs. So again, it's just, in what world are the Atlanta Braves a minus 200 favorite to anybody right now? And I don't even think that the pitching advantage is that big. And also, I hate the spot for the Braves. I mean, they're coming home from a 9-game road trip where they went from Boston to Washington to Baltimore. And that series with Baltimore was, I mean, that had to be important to them. So
I forgot to mention Jimenez, back-to-back days, the reliever. And Pierce Johnson back 2 of the Yeah.
They had top 3 Atlanta arms in their bullpen are not in the goods. I guess Iglesias is fine if they're winning, but you're not going to see Jimenez on back-to-back days, and Pierce Johnson's went 2 out of the last 3. So, bring Aaron Bummer into the game, please. All
right. Our poll is all over the Braves. They like that. I think it's just, honestly, I think what the community's doing is a straight fade of Tampa.
It worked out well for us yesterday.
Yeah. I like that Rays bet yesterday. I didn't expect it to look like that, but it was a nice win. All right. Tigers, Astros, and I did a video on this one this morning. Toast, you were saying you hated this game last night. You're like, I can't get to a side or something.
I just didn't know. I wanted to play the Astros.
Me too.
Assuming that everybody was going to be betting the Tigers, but I don't really know. But I did make a bet in this game, though.
Let's hear it.
First 5 over 3.5, minus 105. I have a lot of success making a living betting these first 5 over 3.5s. I understand that Scooble's been very good this year, but the Astros have already seen him, and they're hitting really, really well at home right now. Not to mention the fact that Hunter Brown has pitched really well for the Astros, but I also think that the Tigers can couple up on him. Hunter Brown hasn't been in the league a very long time. This is like his 3rd year. Tigers have seen him like 3 or 4 times already. I just think it's very capable that Brown gives up 2 or 3 here today. So at 3.5, in the first 5 with two pitchers that I understand have been pitching at an extremely high level, I think are capable of each giving up a couple runs. I played that first 5 over 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with that bet because it's been so profitable, even though I personally think the game is going to be insanely low scoring. So I want you to – all right. So obviously Scoople is the man, right? But what are we expecting Scoople to do? 6-7 innings, 1 run, right? Something like that's a great start from Scoople on the road at Houston. I think Hunter Brown might do the same thing against this Tigers lineup. He's been pitching well. He's been better at home. Tigers aren't hitting. So even if you get a great start from Scoople, which we probably will, he's the man, but there's always a chance Houston gets to him. But the point is, even if you get a great start from Scoople, we could very well still be looking at a 1-1 game going into the 7th. And the truth is, I think the batting discrepancy evens out the starting pitching discrepancy because Houston at home is a different beast. This is the best home lineup in baseball this year. First in WRC+, first in OPS, first in WOBA. It's the best home lineup in baseball. On the road, you can fade Houston's bats, but they score runs at home. So Scooble's better than Hunter Brown, yeah, but the Houston bats in Houston are so many miles better than the Tigers lineup against righties right now. So that evens it out, and Houston's got the better bullpen as well. Not to mention the Tigers bullpen. I'm not going to say it's taxed, but they got three of their arms 2 of the last 3 days, so they're a little on the used side. So at a pick'em, I didn't take this one. I really contemplated it, but
I wanted to go with Astros too.
I think the Astros win the game here.
Me too.
But wow, actually, community's pretty split. Actually, agrees with us. So it's not everyone's not backing Scooble. And when I did this video this morning, this was a straight pick'em. Now I'm seeing Astros -120, Astros -122. So market definitely moving towards Houston.
I should have been in last night.
All right. People are saying Houston sucks at home. They have the best lineup in baseball at home. They've lost some games, but it's not because their offense. All right.
Yeah, it's the pitching that's let them down.
But
also, again, I don't put a ton into this, but I know for a fact that Houston eats fastballs alive, and that's what Scooble does, is fastballs and sinkers. So Houston should be okay.
Yeah. Next up, Cincinnati on the road in Milwaukee. I wanted the Reds bad here. I wanted the Reds bad.
I got a 1.25 units total on the Reds right now.
Oh, shit. You took them that heavy. So you're on Cincinnati.
Well, I didn't do it. I took them last night at 120 or whatever. And then they bumped up to 130 today. And I said, I'm going to take it again because I feel very confident. And now it's even 10 cents higher than that. So maybe I'm just way, way off, or I'm dead on and I'm about to get paid out. So either way, we're going to find that out real fast. So, okay. I like to bet Hunter Green on the road. And there's just something in me that tells me that we might be seeing ourselves a Hunter Green masterclass here today. Back-to-back average or bad starts for him against the Cubs, but prior to 2 games against the Cubs, he faced the Diamondbacks twice, as well as the Dodgers twice. And it's not like he pitched bad in any of those performances, but my point to that is it's going to be a breath of fresh air for him to see a major league lineup that hasn't already seen him once this year. I understand that he doesn't have a great history against Milwaukee, but his last 4 starts against Milwaukee going back to 2022 have all been at Great America Ballpark. The one start that was in Milwaukee was absolutely terrible. He had 2, and this was in 2022, but 2 innings, he went 9 hits, 8 runs. He got absolutely slaughtered. I think that he's ready to go here tonight. I think that we see controlled Hunter Green tonight. And then on the other side, you have Freddie Peralta. Oh, and by the way, the Reds are absolutely red hot, 8-2 their last 10. Regardless of what you want to say, I know they've lost 2 out of 3, but this team is playing really good baseball right now. And Freddie Peralta, yeah, fantastic numbers against the Reds. Has blanked them 3 straight games. Hasn't given up a run to him in 3 straight games. Only 1 run to him in the last 4 games. Freddie Peralta doesn't look good right now. I mean, he had 1 good start against Miami on the road and 1 good start against the Cubs at home. And besides that, he's looked like crap against the Cubs, Cardinals, Astros, White Sox, and Tigers. So if Freddie comes out here and finds himself because he's facing the Reds and he's always dominated them, so be it. But I think that I'm getting the hotter baseball team with a better starting pitcher and I'm not going to say the Reds have a better bullpen, but the Milwaukee bullpen is probably a little bit better. I'll give them that. But I think I'm getting the hotter team at an ice plus price. I don't get the line. It's absolutely terrifying. But yeah, I'm all in on the Reds right now today for 1.25 units total.
I agree with like 80% of the shit you just said. I agree that. So weirdly, the Reds lineup actually been producing better on the road, which is really, it's not Reds like. That's not Reds like. So the Reds, the Reds have been producing on the road. Here they are in Milwaukee against Peralta, and what Toast said about Peralta, I agree. Last 2 starts, I like Peralta, but last 2 starts he hasn't looked good. And the Reds, if you take a sample size of 5 or 6 weeks, they've been hitting righties. I mean, we were talking about 3-4 weeks ago, the ice cold Reds that we were seeing in the April, beginning of May, gone. They're hitting righties. So I expect the Reds to score runs on Freddie Peralta here. But here's where I cannot get with you. The Hunter Green masterclass. Man, what? Milwaukee has crushed righties this year, and they've been the 3rd best home lineup in baseball. So I think it's a terrible spot for Hunter Green, which is why I couldn't get there. I'm going to put Reds up. It's not that I'm disagreeing with you. I think at the price, the Reds would be the move, but I am terrified of Hunter Green getting absolutely smoked here by a Brewers team that has been scoring runs at home against righties all year. So I'm scared for Hunter Green. You know what? I'm going to put up an over graphic. Over 7.5 for me. It's only 7.5? Why?
Because he's about to pitch a masterclass.
Wait a second. Let me make sure this graphic's right.
I really don't know.
That's suspiciously low.
No, it's still 7.5.
It's 7.5 juice to the under.
Oh, wow. Weird. Must be free.
Why?
Over. What'd I just tell you, dude?
I'm taking the over. I don't care if it's square. Screw it. I'm betting it right now. I don't care.
I don't even know if it's square, to be honest.
7.5 with the Reds and Brewers with 2 righties on the mound? How is it 7.5 juice to the under? What? It's 2 top 10 lineups. Hey, give me this shit. Yup. Give me this. Sorry, 1 second. Let me get this bet down. Like I said, when I'm on those shows and I'm like, I'm going to bet that, as we go through the show, I fucking forget. So let me get this down. All right. All right. No MLB. God damn, come on. So ESPN bet has a plus 100, and that's what I'm going to grab. Here it is. Bet placed. I'm in.
Come on, Reds. For the love of God.
That's cool. Please. 6-5 Reds is cool with me.
Okay, I'm cool. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's fine.
Everyone, Jess is in the comments yelling, "It's a trap."
Jess.
Jessica. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. Oh, someone said wind blowing in. That might explain it. But still, that actually makes me like because then it becomes less suspicious. I like the over, so the wind blowing in.
They're playing in Milwaukee.
Oh, it has the retractable roof. So the wind doesn't mean any.
Just move along.
All right. All right, next up.
Even if it's open, it's not going to matter. Just move along.
All right. Athletics at Minnesota. Totals at 9. All right.
And it's not even blowing in. God damn it. You know what?
You know what? He might have been asking, to be honest.
Okay.
And maybe I misread. He might have been like, is the wind blowing in? And I misread his comment. Okay. So that might be on me. All right. Oakland on the road in Minnesota. Spence pitching against Wood Richardson. Yo, was Wood Richardson the man? He looks good.
I think so. We talked about this Twins team on the podcast, and Kamish kind of feels like this Twins team is a dark horse team, and I kind of agree with the way that this team, the way he's been pitching. But yeah, he's been really good. You can't take anything away from him. I will give you the lineups that he has faced: Pittsburgh, Houston, Kansas City, Washington, Cleveland, Toronto, Seattle. Not all of them the best lineups, but I mean, he's performed really, really well. I mean, he's had essentially 2 bad starts, or if you want to call them bad. One of the bad starts was on the road at Toronto, where he gave up five runs in like 4 innings or something like that, and then the other one in Houston, where he went 4 1/3 and gave up 3 runs. But besides that, it's all 4 or 5 innings. He doesn't go deep into games. That's one issue that's there, but I mean, he's been pitching really, really well. So on the other hand, so is Mitch Spence. So again, same type of deal. From Mitch Spence, Toronto, Seattle, Rays, Rockies, Royals. The Royals I'll give you, and he pitched really well against the Royals. He's only had 1 bad start, and that was against Seattle of all those teams. He just threw a 7-inning gem against Toronto. And on previous to that, he threw 5 1/3 no hit, or I'm sorry, 1 hit, 1 no run ball against the Royals. Or I'm sorry, against the Rays, and did the same thing against the Royals as well. So I would lean under 9 here. This total makes no sense to me.
That's
so like, So unless the Twins just absolutely explode, like they did against Colorado the other day, but like it just doesn't even make sense. Like even if the Twins win this game 6-2, like it's still way under. You know what I mean? Like you're never sweating the over or the under. So. I didn't know this was 9. I didn't really look that hard at this game because I didn't want to deal with it. But yeah, I would heavy lean to the under.
Yeah. So it just reminds me a lot of the Twins Rockies game the other day where I took the first 5 under, and
I feel you.
It wasn't even close. The Twins went off. Are the Twins bats getting hot? They might be. Prop Beaver was making fun of you guys hard this morning, by the way. We put on Play Coverage, your podcast, and Prop Beaver was like, the Twins to win the World Series. He went on a rant about it.
Oh, yeah, Prop Beaver. Now that you're in this city, because everybody in the world last June and July were pounding that the Rangers were going to win the World Series when they were below 500 both months. You're so sharp, Beaver. I hope you have a great time at your techno concert.
I'll put under too, but it's probably just a pass for me. If that Rockies Twins game from the other day didn't just happen, I would bet this.
I know, yeah.
But
I wouldn't, yeah.
It looks just like it, and I really like that first 5 under in that game. And it wasn't. I mean, the Twins scored 5 in the first inning. It wasn't even close. So, all right.
I would be so pissed if I bet that game and it went over in like the 4th inning, and I would just be.
Yeah. Bro, it was the first game of the day, and it was the first day. I think it was like one of the first days of the betting league too. And I was like all fired up, like put the game on, and I was like, this sucks. Everything sucks. And it's the first game of the day, which means a lot of the square parlays from the show were busted early, so which means a lot of disrespectful comments. All right. Pittsburgh at Colorado. I put up Luis Ortiz. Is that who's pitching? It was undecided all day.
I'm that's my under the impression that he is pitching. Yes, that's not confirmed anywhere that I see, but everywhere that I looked at, that's where he's listed, or who is listed. Excuse me.
Someone asked where I find the ROI numbers. I use EV Analytics. They're good for that kind of stuff. They also have some nice trends on there. Simple site, EV Analytics. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. They're not paying me to say that. That's just who I use. All right. So let's skip this game. I'm assuming you have nothing to say because I didn't know Louis. I threw that name in there because I searched multiple sites and found somebody that was given a pitcher.
Yeah, nothing. All I can tell you guys is Ryan Feltner's been like really, really bad at home. 8 runs to Cincinnati, 7 runs to Cleveland. His last couple of starts been really, really bad. So, for whatever that's worth.
So in this one, I have a lean here. And depending what your thoughts are about it, I like the bet in this game. Oh, you go first then.
White Sox first 5 money line for me. Plus 150. Let me get to my notes really quick. First of all, it's a play on the number. first and foremost, I understand that the White Sox are bad, but I don't think Arizona's that good either, especially not at this price. And Ryan Nelson's been terrible at home for a while now. His last start against the Giants was decent, but I don't expect that to last. And not to mention the fact that Chris Flexen, you can say what you want, but he's pitched really well for the White Sox over his last 3 starts. Arizona, I don't really trust them against right-handed pitching. I expect Chris Flexen to pitch well here today, and I expect it to be a coin flip here in this first 5. So if you're going to give me plus 150, I'm going to take it. So yeah, I took the White Sox plus 150.
I don't like that.
That's okay.
So I do agree with you that the White Sox are going to score runs on Ryan Nelson, though. Where I was circling, so hear me out here. The sneaky value would be that the White Sox bats have been hitting righty starters, because they have. I know everyone's thinking about last night's game, because that game was 0-0. The White Sox won 3-2 in extra innings, very low scoring. But as a whole, you scroll through, the White Sox have been hitting righty starters recently. Ever since Luis Robert was back in the lineup, the White Sox lineup looks different. I'm not saying it's great. It's not top 10, but their numbers are like 14th, 16th, 13th, 18th. Like, that's
much
not
better than it was.
By Chicago White Sox standards. That's the New York Yankees. They are.
Well, yeah, if you're going from 30th to 15th, that's a huge jump. It doesn't
exactly.
matter.
So this White Sox lineup, we have to handicap it. They're an average lineup against righties based on what we've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks. Right. Ryan Nelson at home, which I know he pitched well at home last time, but historically, last 2 years, this dude never pitches well at home. So I expect the White Sox to score runs. But this is where I disagree with Toast. Flexen is about to get shelled. He's about to get rocked. Arizona's been getting to righty starters. This year,
Who? Name one. Name one righty starter that Arizona's got you. Go ahead.
I misspoke. Arizona has good numbers against right-handed pitching, but the numbers against right-handed starters don't look great. So you're actually right there. I'll pull it up. Well, let's get to the numbers. Arizona against right-handed pitching in the last 30 days, 9th, 9th, and 9th. Top 10 in the last 14 days, top 10 in the last 7 days. Toast is right. They haven't gotten to the last 3 starters. But, just like I said when I took Arizona yesterday, Jose Soriano is a different kind of dude. He throws 100 miles an hour. Before that, they saw a knuckleballer. Take out those 2 guys, and their numbers against righties look way different. So I like Arizona to score a lot of runs, but I think we can count on the White Sox to score runs. So I would either go over or the same bets I did yesterday. Arizona minus 1.5, Arizona team total over. In fact, I like this over. Let me see the price.
No. Yo, do not bet a total in Arizona. You will not bet this game on a total. Do not. You will lose. I promise. You've never won a bet on a total in this ballpark in your life. You are throwing money away.
I know. I never win when I bet totals.
Do not make that bet.
All right.
I'm telling you right now.
It's going to hit, though.
That's fine. Only because you didn't bet it.
All right, let's go. Yeah, he actually is right there. I have such a bad record trying to bet totals in Phoenix. That ballpark's weird. The desert's weird. I don't know how you're not tailing my bet in this one, Toast. I love my bet in this one.
I honestly don't trust the Diamondbacks bats. Like, I understand.
Oh, no. In this one. Royals, Dodgers.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, no, I switched it to Orioles, Dodgers. The Dodgers are about to crush Cole Reagans.
I know, dude. They screwed me 2 nights in a row. Like,
I didn't bet them either time.
not that I bet them. It was a half a unit each time because it was big plus money, and not like I'm like pissed off. I still had a lot of positive days, but yeah.
Okay, so
I don't hate your bet.
So for those of you that don't know what my bet is, let me put it up on the screen. Okay, right here. So I got this on Caesars. Hopefully it's still there. I bet this last night, so I haven't even looked at the. You know what?
I'll look right now.
Yeah, please get a Dodgers team total over. I got it at 4 minus 118 Caesars. So the 1/2 of this game, Gavin Stone against the Royals. That feels a little more coin flippy to me. Gavin Stone's been really good, and it looks like the Royals bats may have gone cold. But the Royals bats have also started to hit on the road. Before they returned from that road trip, they were hitting. In that Cleveland series, they went into Cleveland. They were hitting the ball. So after the Yankee series, they got the energy from the comeback win. I don't think it's crazy to think Kansas City comes in and scores runs on Gavin Stone. I think Gavin Stone will pitch well, but I don't think it's crazy to say. I'm a little more uncertain about that. But on the other side, dude, the Dodgers are about to tattoo Cole Reagans. I know he's been good, but the Dodgers, they've been hitting at home. Excellent number. I believe the best lineup in baseball against lefties in the last 30 days. Why don't I just bring up the spreadsheets?
3rd, 4th, and 4th. Essentially.
I want to bring up the spreadsheet because I loved my angles here, and I can't think of them off the top of my head, and I don't want to mess them up.
It's a lot of green. Let's just put it that way.
It's not, yeah, but it's not just, okay, so Dodgers against Cole Reagans. Okay, so Dodgers, the last 14 days back into being a top 5 lineup, right? I know they didn't hit the last 2 days, but they've been back the last few weeks. Last 30 days against lefties, second. Last full season at home, top 3, top 4. Last 14 days at home, top 5, top 6. Here are the lefty starters they've seen. Nestor Cortez, got him. Bailey Falter, got him. Austin Gomber, who's having a good season, got him. Got to Peterson, Quintana. 3 runs off Weathers, who's been having a good year. Got to Max Fried. They're getting to every lefty starter they see. And we're getting a good price because, okay, so here's where the value is, by the way. We're getting a good price on this because people are unsure about the Dodgers. You heard what Toast just said. He's like, dude, they burnt me 2 days in a row. Lost a half unit 2 days in a row. So people are a little unsure about the Dodgers. So we're getting a good price on what should be, on paper, a manslaughter of Cole Reagans. So rather than try to take the Dodgers -1.5, because I do think there's a chance the Royals score, just give me this Dodgers team total over at 4. I like this bet a lot. It's probably my favorite bet of the day.
You can still get it at Caesars at -105 or whatever if you want that. I don't know. Total's at 7.5. I don't know, man. I would lean Dodgers first 5 run line because Gavin Stone has just continued to pay me out every time I bet this kid. Dodgers are 9-3 when he starts. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm overthinking this game. So it's Dodgers. There's no way I bet Kansas City. There's no way in hell. It's Dodgers first 5 run line or Dodgers -1.5. I haven't bet it yet, but I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it.
He's scared of the Dodgers. You're scared of the Dodgers.
It's not. They've
You
lost
sound
3
scared.
or 4. I just.
You know what though? The only time I bet them was the one. I bet their team total over too. The same bet in that. What game was that?
I bet him against Texas too. So
I bet him that game. I had their team total over the game they scored 15 or whatever. That's the only time I bet them. So Dodgers have been good to me.
Yeah, well, and I had the Yankees in that Dodgers loss, so I'm 2-2 their last 4 to me. So all right, I'm okay. I'm not gonna touch whatever.
All right, Toast. I'm actually curious to see your thoughts on this one. I did bet the game. I laid the juice here, and I played Seattle on the money line. I feel like we're getting the much better team at home, better starting pitcher, bullpen. I was concerned about the Mariners bullpen yesterday, which is why I was leaning towards White Sox. But today they get Munoz did pitch yesterday, but they get some of their other arms rested, Stanek, Thornton, Voth, like those other guys that you like. So I just Seattle's going to win this game, right?
Yeah, I don't think that they lose. I played the over 7 personally.
Okay.
I played the over 7. Castillo has been really, really good, but his history against Texas isn't great. Not to mention his last 2 home starts against Texas, 7 innings, 7 runs. Seager was out yesterday, so I'm hoping I kind of made this bet forgetting to check the lineup. So I'm praying to God that Seager's back in the lineup today. If he's not, probably don't like it as much. But on the other side, Andrew Heaney, I understand that he's been pretty damn good this year, but at the same time, we all know that he's definitely capable of a blow up. In his last 2 starts, on the road at Seattle, he had 1 really good one and 1 really bad one. But at the same time, Seattle has actually been able to get to him 4 of the last 5 times they've seen him at home or on the road. So I expect Seattle to put up a couple runs as well. I'm sooner or later, I feel like this Rangers offense might start clicking. They've won 3 of their last 4 now. That one loss being essentially throwaway game against the Dodgers where they gave up 15 runs. I understand they were only winning games by 3-1 and 3-2, but I do think that sooner or later this offense will score some runs. I don't know if it's necessarily tonight, but I do think 7's a little bit too low for me. So I did play over 7.
And for those of you betting the Rangers, no Kirby Yates. No David Robertson.
That was another. Yes, that's another part for the
Rangers
Seattle
missing their closer and their 8th inning guy. 2 top arms from the Rangers bullpen unavailable. So that's a blow. Rangers are going to be thin in the bullpen. Look, like you can see that from the comments. Mariners can't hit. Mariners can't score. I mean, dude, they played the hottest pitcher in baseball last night. Garrett Crochet, no one's touching that kid. Kid's let up like 2 runs in his last 6 starts. Like, no one's touching that kid. Andrew Heaney's a slightly different animal than Garrett Crochet. All right. Next game, and this is the final game. I didn't know what the hell to do here. I knew that you probably wanted to talk about it, so I was just going to wait and hear what you thought.
So it's really simple for me. I played Giants -1.5 at +140 for a half a unit. Because I'm going to continue to play the Giants. Like I said, I would. I understand that Tyler Anderson has been good, but like I said, I've been making good money with this Giants team, and I can't stop now. Spencer Howard is a wild card. I will give you that, yes. But at the same time, the Angels are just a bad baseball team, and Spencer Howard looked fine his last start. I also think that the Giants or the books making the Giants this huge favorites kind of tells us what they think of the Angels. I've played the Giants their last 7 games. I'm 5-2, and 4 of those games they've won by 2 runs or more. So I'm going to stick and keep hanging out with my new friends, the Giants, and continue to play them until they do me wrong. So they had the day off yesterday. They're in a good spot with their bullpen. And like I said, the Angels played yesterday and have to travel as well. So I love this spot for the Giants.
Yeah, and I mean, if you use sample size of like 5 weeks, Angels are probably the worst lineup in baseball against right-handed pitching. So if there's ever a spot for Spencer Howard to put a decent start together, it would be home against the Angels. Oh, man, -150. I don't think the Giants are very good. I know I don't
think they're very good either. I just think that they're hot right now, and I happen to get on the train right when they got hot, and I'm going to ride it for a few more games until they give me a reason not to.
Giants full bullpen at their disposal, which is huge. I guess I'll just put up Giants money line, but give me like a -135.
Yeah,
-135 and I'm in.
I still think that you're going to get it because even with the Angels rested bullpen, they still had to play yesterday and travel, and the Giants played their last series at home. Then they had the day off, and now they're playing the Angels. I mean, the Giants have just been sitting and resting for 2 days.
All right, so toast on the Giants. I'll lean Giants in that one. Sorry. Let's do... Kelsey's in the chat. Kelsey, I thought you only came around when Modi was on. You're like a Modi groupie. All right, let's see. Community parlay. All right, Yankees, Red Sox. They like the Yanks. They definitely like the Yankees.
God, the Cubs suck.
What's the score of that game?
3-0. It's over. I didn't bet it, but I was just noticed that
I had no interest in that one. Didn't even look at it. I knew I was like 2:20 p.m. start. No, like it starts an hour and a half before the live show. No interest even looking at it.
Yep, I was looking at it last night, and I said, "Well, I guess I can sleep in the morning."
Right. All right. Cast your votes. Cast your votes. Oh, shit. Let's play the song while you're voting.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
There it is. Community parlay song. Oh, wow. I can end this poll immediately. It's Yankees by a billion miles. When's the last time we had a community parlay without the Yankees in it? So this is yesterday's. Obviously, this lost. So,
you can get the Yankees at -145 now. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? All right, next leg of the community parlay. Padres, Mets. All of you like the Padres. Mets, they're now up to -115. Wow.
Don't.
You squares.
-105. No, Padres are -105. This is like disaster territory right now, guys.
I know. The Mets are going to win.
Yeah, like do not bet the Padres, guys. Like
don't do it.
This is not what I expected.
All right, cast your votes. Cast your votes. Yeah, and all the people watching are on the Padres. I honestly wouldn't have been down to tail you on that, but everyone in the comments, I don't know.
Don't do it.
Kelsey, do you actually know Matt Modi? That's got to be his fiance or something.
I don't know.
Nick Johnson, you're done tonight, bro. Nick Johnson is in playoff contention for the betting league. I can knock him out if I beat him. I played Nick Johnson's tonight. If I beat him, I knock him out. And same thing goes for Shipley, who's 0-4, but he can knock out B. Felly. So Shipley plays B. There's a lot of playoff implications in the betting league tonight. It should be a fun one. Nick Johnson has won 3 in a row too. He's on a heater, but Estot goes, I was robbed. Bro, Estot, you swept the board on the first day of the league. You've been shit ever since. Your true colors came out.
Well, the Yankees didn't win.
Toast, Padres just made the community parlay.
Yeah, dude.
They're a fan favorite bet tonight.
I mean, I can't spell it out any clearer for anybody else.
Guys, just please don't do it.
I really can't. Like, the exact opposite of what I thought was going to happen happened.
Twins money line.
It happens, though. Bad bets win, too, though. So...
I'm winning it all. Oh, yeah, Selman, you're still in contention, too. You need a win. Yeah, Charles Selman I think he's in 7th. So in order to get into the playoffs tomorrow, he needs a win and he needs 2 people to lose. I'll have to look. I'm pretty pumped about the way it's coming out. It's been a fun week. You should get in on it next week. It's fun.
I always forget, though, dude. And I don't want to ruin it for somebody.
Oh, I do. That's the best part. Shipley is 0-4. He's been mathematically eliminated since Wednesday. He's fired up to take Pete Felly out tonight. Doug Lane, are you really on a heater? I know you went 0-3 on the opening day.
That's Kyle saying he calls bullshit on that, Dougie.
No, but I don't know how he's done since. So he might have. Yeah, no, Nick Johnson has been killing because Nick Johnson is 3-0. He missed Monday, so if he missed the deadline to get his picks in Monday, he might be 4-0 in first place if he was in on Monday. But that comes to an end tonight. Does that smart kid still work here? The kid with the books in the background that broadcast from the library. I call him.
It's Kamish.
It's Kamish. Yeah, he's on during the day shows. The smart kid. What makes him the smart kid?
Because he's in the. I can't. I'm just gonna let that ride.
It's because where he broadcasts from.
Yeah, I guess. I know exactly what they're talking about. I also know where he broadcasts from, so it's funny.
So Mariners money line, Giants money line, and then the second place finishers were Twins money line. And who else finished second?
Kamish is a collector of leather-bound books.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
That's a movie I know.
Who made that song? Are you talking about the community parlay song? The guy, he's not in the comments today, but his name's Organics. You see him, he watches all the time in the comments. He's an audio engineer, and he emailed me and asked, he's like, hey, if you ever need any sound. He also did the intro to Toast podcast, too.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean,
dude, he throws it together in an hour, too. He's just
that's what I was going to say. You got to appreciate people like that. Some people just have a lot of skills.
Kyle, need help joining website, brother. Toast me contact website for payment. Contact website. Just go to the live chat and send me a message on there, Cincy Kid. And then I'll look at it just right after the show. Let me get my contacts out and shit. And I'll get you in there. What is Toast Podcast? It's called Plate Coverage. Actually, episode just dropped last night. And he does an episode every week, him and Kamish. They go through pretty much it's kind of like this week in MLB betting type of a thing. They kind of a weekly summary of the most recent week of MLB. Talk about the rest of the season. It's good stuff.
What did Beaver say about my Brewers take?
I don't think we got there because I was on Skee show today, so we had to cut it off. But he was going off. What Kamish said he thinks that you got. So Toast the Commissioner talk about betting Twins to win the World Series, and Prop Beaver was here at work, was on a rampage. Like, what are they even talking about? Give your money to the poor. He was going off.
I actually thought he made a good argument, but what do I know? That's funny.
I don't even know if he listened to the argument, bro. He might have just heard it and went off.
I know.
Yeah, Gab deserves some credit, sitting at 3-1. Gab, a win, and I think you're in the playoffs. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's Giants. So, community parlay, Yankees, Padres, Dodgers, Giants. So basically the NL West and the Yanks.
797.
797. So, community parlay. Yankees money line, Padres money line, Dodgers money line, Giants money line plus 797. Thanks everyone for watching. For those of you that are in the league, let's have a good night. Playoffs start tomorrow. So we have a 2-day playoff Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday, a new week starts. Everyone starts at 0. It's just a weekly league, $100 to the winner, and you get one of the Sauce Network handicapping trophies mailed to you. So that's what we're doing. Last night before our first playoff weekend. The idea, I have it set up for football, by the way. I'll briefly explain it. So instead of, originally I was going to do a survivor-based, like you picked ATS on Thursday. If you win, you're still in. If you lose, you're out. Then you make 3 picks ATS on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then that's how I was going to do it. Not doing it like that. You get assigned a division every week. 8 people in a division. The winner of each division goes on to the playoffs, which is Monday Night Football. And it's like all the division winners compete something Monday Night Football, like ATS total, touchdown scorer or some shit. That way you're assigned a division, you're competing against that person Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, all week. You're against the same people. I think I
like that too, because can be a lot of clunkers on Monday Night Football, so it's going to be nice to be invested in like a touchdown scorer or something.
Well, here's the real thought behind it, because people try to do betting competitions, right? And here's the thing. So obviously I'm going to give away money to the winners, but I can't give away like $1,000 a week, right? You just can't do that. So in order to give away serious money, you need to make it long-term. But if you make it long-term, if someone loses 3 days in a row, they're just not going to participate the last 27 days because they're out. So the key is to finding the balance. And the way I do it, if you're in a division, even if you start out 0-3, you just got to beat the people in your division. So you're not even if you are 1-4 entering Sunday, you can go 4-0 on NFL Sunday and still have a shot to win your division. So you're not mathematically eliminated ever. That's the idea of it. And I think it's perfect. I have it set up. Really excited about it. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching as always. Me and Toast will be back tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. Let's have ourselves a good Friday night. Remember to bet responsibly. Talk to you later.
Stay goated.